I am Jason Abraham, the Shadow Teacher 33. And many people who play in the world of the law of attraction, or the law of co-resonance and manifestation, I find are perpetually seeking but never finding. Or sometimes even they will get what they think they want, but it doesn't make them happy, so they're on to the next thing that they think will make them happy. But I can say for sure there's something to this concept of manifestation. It's just most people don't quite get it right. Most people are manifesting all the time. They're just manifesting from their unconscious. They're manifesting from their shadow. And what I find is a belief combined with an intense emotion produces a reflection in our physical reality. And what we do with that reflection can reinforce the same belief, or we can make a different choice and start creating some new pathways and start building some different beliefs. But this principle, a thought, I should say a belief, something that has to be deeper than a thought, it has something you truly have to buy into, combined with an intense emotion, will reproduce some expression of that concept, that belief concept in our physical reality. And I had this experience just the other day. One of my beliefs of a life situation that I've been working on shifting out of, a belief that inspires. At one time it really inspired a defeatist spirit in me, almost a victim spirit, but now it inspires more anger, intense anger. And so a stimulus for this particular belief, I went down a period again where I felt a little stuck with this area of life, or actually I'd manifested a piece of an intention. I had manifested something I actually wanted, but it wasn't exactly the way I wanted it as it was showing up. And the way it was showing up, even though there are pieces of my intention that were there are pieces of something I'm working on shifting out of that were also dominant. And again, I'm a big believer in feeling our emotions. If we suppress our emotions, then we just build up more of a shadow. What resists persists, and that lives as the master of puppets in our shadow. However, we always want to have the intention of moving towards what we want. Have the intent of moving towards what we want, being in a positive state, having a life that we are engaged with and looking forward to is always the intention. But we got to allow some space to feel these negative emotions. Again, feel them without dwelling on them. So I had some space where I was allowing the stimulus to this negative emotion, or this belief that I've had, and the anger. I allowed that to come through. My anger was so intense. And like clockwork, the next couple of days I manifested, or I should say, I manifested it. I look at this, I think it was just too, I don't think you could count it as coincidence. I look at this as something that came from the belief and the energy I was charging that belief with. And it showed up in my physical world. And what I noticed again, it's like, okay, I couldn't deny it. I said, wow, I put a lot of energy. The energy I charged this belief, this is anger, and it's showing up in this really annoying person who is disrespecting my time and disrespecting my boundaries. And so I had a choice once again with this person. I was able to alchemize this and use this as an opportunity to set stronger boundaries and to set stronger boundaries and speak my words as opposed to acting in a way that I would have in the past, where I would have just accepted this person violating my boundaries and then felt bad about myself for that. But I did something different, and the next day, once again, I was still angry about, and I know I'm very vague here, and that's for a reason, but I was very vague. I was very angry once again about that interaction. My anger was still charging, even though I'm setting boundaries and creating a new reality, a new identity from how I'm reacting and responding to it. And the next day, another situation where another person is showing up, person with high entitlement, low awareness, who is disrespecting my boundaries, and I said, okay, no, I'm not going to allow this, and it gave me an opportunity to show up as a different version and set boundaries. And ultimately, this is what it takes. Sometimes our negative emotions, when we manifest what we don't want, it gives us an opportunity to engage with what's showing up in our physical world in a different way and give us more of the reps, more of the practice that we need to reinforce the new identity, the new belief about ourselves that's going to ultimately set us up for creating what we actually want and manifesting what we want. So I found, again, this video, I'm going into different things. Once again, it is true. Your belief combined with intense emotion is going to bring a reflection in your world. And what we do with that belief can either reinforce our existing belief, or we could use that as an opportunity to react and respond to what shows up in a different way and start working on new pathways, new reinforcements, so we can start to create a new belief in our minds, which is going to reflect into a new way we show up in the world and a new reality we create. So that being said, I'm going to end this transmission. Be strong, be well, and I will see you on the other side, my friends.